They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgage to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, every day we read in the paper or we hear on radio or TV how the market is rigged. So what? It's rigged to go up, not to go down. You know this market hasn't pulled back 10%, not 10% since 2011, and you're not in this market. You want the market to be rigged. All you got to know is when to get out before it blows up. That's why you become a gang member, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Do you think gold is money?
No.
Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. And of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course, gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want. because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's Gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims in order to recruit more radical jihadists.
And none of that is true. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That is not true. We have more of that, but first let's get to the stock market. The market, of course, we're going into the holiday, we're going to Christmas, and that means that we're going to, well, all the big boys leave. They leave early, so there's going to be a little bit of volatility on the street, but not much. Between now and, of course, Christmas, just very little goes on in the market. It gives us an opportunity with our gang members to do some teaching and clean some things up and work with them, and so we kind of enjoy this period while it's slow. But what we're seeing, though, is definitely the beginning of a correction to this market. You can bet on it. We are going to have a correction. We're in what they call the Santa Claus rally. It starts in December, first day of December, ends the final weeks of trading prior to the new year. And it creates some good, volatility once we get beyond Christmas anyways. And the more volatility, more opportunity is to make money. Now, Santa Claus rally is nothing more than a mini QE. What is that? The Fed Reserve prints money, injects it right into the stock market to push stocks right up, just like they did with QE 1, 2, 3, and the twist. It's an artificial way of pumping the market up. In other words, stocks go up without having to have sales and earnings. And we're starting to see a big contraction in earnings. That tells you when the bull market is over, a big contraction in earnings, and when you start seeing them lie about it. That's what gets me, when they lie about it. It's incredible. But we are seeing that now. We are seeing the contraction. So the Santa Claus rally is no longer reserved for December to New Year's. It used to be, but now it's year-round. Year-round. They use these rallies to mask their failed economic policies. For example, we're seeing contraction of earnings, especially in the big stocks, and we're seeing that like the leaders, and we're starting to see where no longer are they buying on the dips. We don't have buyers coming in and taking the big stocks, the big guys, and buying the dips. We're talking about stocks like Facebook and Starbucks and Apple and Disney and Nike. We're not seeing that. This all tells you it's over. We will have a great sell-off in this market, and it's going to be worse than all the other sell-offs. Now, remember the third quarter In the third quarter in August, we had a 3-day 1,900-point drop in the stock market. Remember that? And all the jibber-jabbers on CNBC blamed it on China's currency devaluation. Now, some of it, true. But that wasn't the real reason. We were lied to. What contributed to that drop, that 3-day drop, 1,900 points? It was earnings. Earnings were dropping. The main reason is they found out that the third quarter earnings were going to drop a humongous 13%. 13%. In other words, the reason why the market dropped 1,900 points, it was saying with a 13% drop in earnings, the Fed and the President, their monetary policies sucked. And they failed. And panic set in. But they were able to mask it quick and brought the market right back up, another 1,900 points. They masked it really quickly. See, the drop we know was due to these failed policies. Now, earnings dropping 13%, that's huge. So the way they masked the 13% drop to a 1% drop was to create an illusion of prosperity. So to immediately push the market right back up by simply cheating. They just cheated. And how did they cheat? How did they do that? How did they mask a 13% drop in quarterly earnings so you wouldn't see it, so all you would see is 0.1%? Well, they did it by changing the accounting rules. That's right. Changing the accounting methods from standard accounting methods for earnings to adjusted method, aka EBITDA. EBITDA. You've heard that before. Now, standard earnings, what is that? Well, when you're trying to figure out your profit and your earnings, you simply deduct expenses from your sales, right? So to get to your earnings, to your profit, you deduct real expenses. Interest, that's a real expense. Taxes, well, that's a real expense. Depreciation, amortization. If you have accounts receivable, you got, say, 500,000 accounts receivable, you only can collect 100,000. You have to write those off. That goes against all your profits. And then you get your earnings. Well, but not if you change to adjusted earnings. EBITDA. EBITDA. Now, what's EBITDA? It stands for the ITDA of the EBITDA, EBITDA. The I in EBITDA stands for interest, the T for taxes, D for depreciation, and A for amortization. What it means is using the adjusted earnings method, they no longer have to deduct the expenses of interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, or write-offs. They can omit them. They can omit those to mask the terrible earnings. And then they turn around and borrowed money, as you know, from zero interest to buy their own stock. So nobody would know the difference. Now, the problem is that that's a huge drop. I mean, that's bad. But think about what else they do with this EBITDA. With this EBITDA, adjusted earnings. Just think of adjusted earnings, where they omit important things like interest expense and depreciation and taxes. Ridiculous. But here's what else they do, and they omit. A company like Squire, which is an electronic payment company, their biggest client is Starbucks. 14% of their revenues is Starbucks as their biggest customer. Well, Starbucks dropped them as a company. They're not going to use them anymore. So Squire, to mask the 14% drop in revenues, switched from a standard earnings to a adjustable earnings, aka EBITDA, where they didn't deduct from the revenues the expenses such as interest, tax, depreciation, amortization. But worse, they did not disclose the material fact that they lost Starbucks to shareholders. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that. If you go and invest your hard-earned money, you're going to retire and you're putting your money away, and that's one of the companies in your and they're not telling you that going forward, they're not going to get the revenues any longer from Starbucks. That is a material fact that needs to be disclosed. They don't do it. They don't have to do it anymore. The Federal Reserve has been able to change the accounting rules. Just like, do you remember in 2008, they changed the accounting rules from mark to market to mark to model? Remember when they tried to figure out the mortgages, the value of the mortgages that were on the balance sheets of the banks? They couldn't sell their mortgages. If it was a $20,000 mortgage, a $100,000 mortgage, they couldn't even sell it for $5,000. So they had to deduct that. Well, to stop deducting it, they changed the accounting rules then too. They said, we'll go to market. We'll explain that and more when we get back. Join my gang, 877-600-GANG, today.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Do you think gold is money?
No.
Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. And of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course, gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want, because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's Gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market, was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap, diversified, everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now, because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life. Someone teaches us to play baseball. Someone teaches us to ski. Someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come in. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. What is Phil's Gang? philsgang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course, monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgage to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home.
You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. What a great time to join the gang. We're going to have a great year because we can see, remember, for 9 months, this market's been in about a 4.5% range after a 200% rally. We haven't been going anywhere. But this market is ready to contract. It's ready to collapse. It's going to be worse than the dot-com. It's going to be worse than the housing con. I mean, and we can see it. We can see. So it's a great opportunity so that you can learn to be as comfortable with the market dropping so you can make and create wealth as going up. I mean, it's the way to go. Now, I'm going to give you a number, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. You talk to Denise, you talk to Steven during the program here, and you can subscribe to Phil's Gang. Try it for a month. And then during that month, I'm going to have you just watch one stock on my PT2. It's called SH. The symbol is SH. All it is the S&P, but it's inverse. So the S&P 500, as the S&P 500 drops, as the market drops, you never made money ever. The reason why you never made money, because your planners, your money managers, they never put you in that position. They tell you it's dangerous. They lie to you so that they can make money shorting you. They bet against you. So we have on our PT2 chart, if you want to take a look at it, if I can look at it right now, go to my site, philsgang.com, and click on Watch Live, and you can see it right there. Now, SH is wonderful because when the market goes down, people get scared. They're scared to short because CNBC and all these dopes, these planners and money managers have taken parking space in your head to scare you not to ever short a stock. So we have what we call an inverse, SH, symbol SH. So you buy SH. And as long as it stays green on my PT2, and it's already turned from red to green, it's been green now for about 7 days. Green for 7 days. So you take very little risk, very, very little risk, and a big reward. So the first what we ask you to do at first is just join the gangs, $49.95. The first 4 weeks, you just watch the chart when you're a gang member. Watch us how we work SH. At the end of the first month, you enjoy the gang, you continue, and then go ahead and lease the chart. It's a wonderful opportunity. Now, I'll give you the number again, 877-600-GANG. Now, the chart can be used with any stock. You know, people get so confused with the market, and you should be confused with the market. Think of what they're doing. This whole 200% rally has been a farce. It's been a fraud, but it's been a wonderful fraud. It's been a wonderful fraud. And I pointed out to you many times, why do people stay away from the stock market? All I hear them say is, oh, it's rigged. I'm not going near the market. But I remind them, everything's rigged. Everything's rigged. When you go to the store and you go buy groceries, especially go to the produce, there's nothing more rigged than agricultural. Are you kidding me? Everything's rigged. Go get a prescription. Are you pharmacies? Are you kidding? You talk about rigged? That's not a reason to stay away from the market. The reason to stay away from the market is you don't make money. You don't make money. And that's why most of you stay away from it. Not that it's rigged. Get that out of your head. That's stupid. You're giving up opportunity. You stay away from the market. You know what your real reason is? You stay away from the market because you can't make money. Because why? Because somebody has convinced you for years a stock goes up because of the size of the market cap, or what the trailing PE ratio is, or what the price to book is, or profit margins, or operating margins. That's not why a stock goes up. A stock goes up if the institutions that own the stock, like Vanguard Group or T. Rowe Price, or Bank of New York, if they buy more of it. If they buy more of that stock, what that does is influence the price to go up. It's that simple. You haven't got to know all this crap. Listen to these dopes on CNBC talking about Apple.
The street is lowering estimates. And one of the reasons why they're lowering the estimates is when you look at the smartphone unit growth, as Josh accurately points out.
First, listen how he tries to impress you. He's not teaching you. He's not giving you good information. He's trying to impress you.
The street is lowering estimates. And one of the reasons why they're lowering the estimates is when you look at the smartphone unit growth, as Josh accurately points out, we're late cycle, it's mature, and the comps are very difficult right now. The December and March comps in terms of year-on-year unit growth, you're looking at 46 to 40%. So where's the bottom going to be in terms of unit growth and the comps? That's probably in the March quarter. Second half of the year, you're going to get the iPhone 7. You introduce the next cycle. But I think the most important thing, Scott, and why you hold Apple is because Apple is in the transition mode. We are now focusing away from smartphone unit growth, and we're focusing on the user base and monetizing the user base. And the fact that that user base comes back at a 90% repeatable rate to purchase Apple products is what is going to drive recurring revenue, not transactional revenue, recurring revenue over the next couple of years.
God, your hair wants to scream. Listen to the words he used. Transitional. I mean, and then he went on to talk about unit growth. And then monetizing customers. Reoccurring growth. On and on. He was trying to impress everybody on Wall Street. I'm not here to impress anybody on Wall Street. Apple. The stock simply sucks. That's all you got to know. Why? Because the people, the institutions that own Apple are pulling their money out. That's all you need to know. You haven't got to know about transitional. You haven't got to know about their monetizing their debt or their what was the other stupid thing he said? I mean, it just goes on and on. My hair was screaming. Here's all you need to know. You go to Phil's Gang, you remember, you click on your PT2. Let's say this is one of your 5 stocks. 5 stocks. All you had to know on December 8th as a gang member, it turned from green to red. It was at $115. And then it dropped. Then it dropped like a flying crowbar, all the way down to about 106. Now, because we could see it go from green to red, that means institutions were pulling. That's a 10% drop. So that would have been a 10% return for you. Let's cut it in half. 5%. That's all you need to know. Oh my God, my hair hurts.
On the show, go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Middle-class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, the unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. You know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, philsgang.com. It's the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Do you think gold is money?
No. Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. And of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course, gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's Gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, it used to be, hey, what's that hot stock? There's no hot stocks anymore. You know what it's all about now? It's identifying when to get in the market, when to get out. And why? Because the market is rigged. It's rigged to go up. There's nothing better. It's rigged to go up. It's called quantitative easing. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Have fun with us in a rigged market.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Let me give you the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. Stephen will take your call. And Denise will take your call. Subscribe to Phil's Gang. You'll love it. Especially now because we're going to have an exciting market this year. I'm not just saying that. We are. If I thought the market wasn't going to be exciting, I'd say, you know, the market's going to suck, but still join the gang. But it's going to be a good market. It is. We're going to have a lot of volatility because what we know is it's over. This phony rally's over. And you can see it. First of all, you can see the contraction in earnings, and you can see what they're trying to do. The large corporations, the Federal Reserve, is having them switch their accounting from standard earnings accounting, which everybody uses, because you got to take all your overhead, count it up, and then you deduct it from profits. What left is your net profit. But they decide to rig it, called adjusted earnings, not standard earnings, EBITDA, where the expenses like interest and tax and depreciation, amortization, write-offs, they omit all that. They won't even tell you if there is a material disclosure. There should be a material disclosure. Like I just talked about this one company, Square, electronic payment company. Starbucks dropped them. 14% of their business, Square. They didn't tell any of their shareholders. They didn't have to under the adjusted earnings, EBITDA. So this is all the games they've been playing to hold this market up. Hold this market up. That's ridiculous. Just like they did in 2000, after the 2008 crash, and the market was crashing. Why? Because the banks were crashing. Why? Because the banks could no longer sell their loans. If they had a loan for $100,000, a mortgage for $100,000 from you, they used to be able to sell it to another bank and get $100,000, because the bank would want it just to service the payments, because there was a lot of money in servicing the payments. When things got so bad, banks did not trust other banks. They said, let me look at your balance sheet. No, let me look at yours. No. Let me look at yours first. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll both exchange them at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. They didn't trust each other. So a $100,000 mortgage, the bank would say, I'll give you $5,000. And that's why the market crashed, because the stock market is led by financials. We no longer are a manufacturing base. We're a financial service industry. That's what we do. That's all we do, financial services. So they decide, well, how are we going to fix this? Because the stock market is already down 45%. It could go down another 45%. So they came up with an idea. They said, well, let's do this. Nobody will know the difference. We'll change the accounting rules. Instead of that $100,000 mortgage being worth $5,000, we no longer will do an appraisal based on what somebody's willing to pay for it, called market value, like your home. You can want $1 million for your house, but everybody comes through and says it's worth $500. I'm sorry, dude, it's $500. It's called market value. They did the same thing with the mortgages, right? What's this word, dude? Where am I getting? Yeah, I'm hanging around with my son to a dude, the kids, dude. 70-year-old man, dude, hey, dude. Anyways, so what happens is they sit there and they decide, okay, let's take the earnings and we'll do model, mark to model, instead of mark to market. So we'll do the model. What's that mean? Well, you banks, you can make your own valuation. You can decide what it's worth. So the banks decided, well, let's see, it was $100,000. I could only sell for $5,000. Well, I'm going to say it's worth $200,000 instead of $5,000. Boom! Within 3 weeks, the bank stocks went up 400%. Then they start this new thing with the earnings. When the earnings started to suck, because nobody was making money. I mean, the stock market was going up, but people weren't making money. Jobs were gone, and if you had a job, you cut to part-time. So they said, let's do this. Let's change the way we do the accounting for our financial statements. So when we report the quarter, let's go not with standard earnings, where we have to write everything off, all the expenses like depreciation, amortization, and taxes and interest, Let's do what we call adjusted earnings. EBITDA. We'll give it a fancy name, EBITDA, which just simply means interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. You don't have to write off. So going back to case in point, we see that when she's ready to, she keeps telling us last week and the week before and the week before, Aunt May, oh, we have real prosperity. We're going to raise rates now. Well, she didn't want to tell us when the market crashed in October, in August. That was the third quarter. She didn't want to explain to us the real reason it dropped, because they saw that the earnings dropped by 13% for that quarter. They panicked. So they fixed it quickly by shifting to adjustable earnings, EBITDA. That's the way they accounted for their numbers. They didn't have to deduct hardly any expenses. That's how they got their numbers. Then she came out and said, well, I think it's time to raise rates. Look at the third quarter. My God, it's only down by 1%. No, it isn't. It's down by 13%. It's just like the job numbers. They tell us our unemployment rate's 5%. We know it's 12% because they don't count the unemployed. They're always rigging the numbers. So my point to you is that the market is a wonderful place if you can get out of your head that you got to know all this crap. That you got to hire a broker because he knows what price the sales are. He knows what price to book it. Well, it doesn't do him any good. What good does it do? None. You're better off just looking at a chart. Put one of your, just watch 5 brand name stocks. Why don't you just watch Starbucks, Apple, Disney, Nike, and Facebook? And when the chart turns from green to red, you sell short. Turns from red to green, you buy. What is wrong with that? I know you don't believe it, but that's what it is. That's all it is. Nothing more. All right. I don't want to keep going on about that. But it drives me nuts. Just drives me nuts, the cheating, and people don't understand. And now we're starting to see, oh, by the way, the other times you see, you know that markets also go down most of the time when there is a change of presidents. That's right. Go back in history, look, 2000. Go back to 1980. Go back to 1988, 1992, 2000, 2008. Those were terrible markets because those are the same years that we had a change in presidents. So that's another reason. So not only do we have that, but we got a terrible contraction in earnings. Terrible, really bad. But they're covering it up. Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. By the way, did you see? I got a comment. I know we're financial, but I got a comment about Hillary Clinton and her videos. What is it with her? She's got a real thing about videos, doesn't she? Real thing about videos. Man. I mean, do you remember this one on Benghazi, right?
We've seen the heavy assault on our post in Benghazi that took the lives of those brave men.
And she blamed it on a video, remember? And then she had Rice come out. And they've also said the same thing, video.
There's no evidence for a video-inspired protest. Then where'd the false narrative start?
What sparked the recent violence was the airing on the internet of a very hateful, very offensive video that has offended many people around the world.
As offensive as this video was.
So you got Hillary saying video, you got Rice saying video, you got the president saying video, all lying. So now she says, I'll use that same lie again because everybody believed me. It worked.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims.
Now, do you believe this? She's on the Sunday show telling people that there is a video of Donald Trump and that the ISIS is using this video to recruit terrorists, young kids, a video, which is a lie. What is it with her? Does she really believe we're that stupid that we sit on the stupid bench? That we didn't. Nobody believes her video, and there's going to be a wonderful movie out about Benghazi. It's going to tell the truth, show her truly what she is, a liar. No video. Everybody knows that. But here's what gets me. She had the nerve to use another video lie. What is this woman? This woman's sick in the head. She has no conscience. She's sick. She's sick. It's unbelievable. And by the way, will you stop believing these ISIS people? They just came out from underneath a rock and going to cut your head off. Where'd they come from? How'd they become ISIS? We'll talk about that in the market when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful. Because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest? invest using charts. Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Our economy has been moving.
Yeah, in the wrong direction. This is the same guy that told us we could keep our doctor and we could keep our health insurance. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Look, I have the best teaching format in the country when it comes to learning how to invest in stocks. People will tell you that. Look, we can't listen to Wall Street. We can't listen to our government. We listen to our charts. That's why you join philsgang.com. Food stamps have exceeded 45 million for 50 straight months, and he's telling us things are good. What are you, nuts?
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Middle-class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, the unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. You know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, philsgang.com. It's the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. Remember, on May 29th and July 28th, I said to short the market. The market was going to experience a correction. How did I know? My PT2. Check it out. This is not a crash for us. We're experiencing a correction because we are now making money on our stocks because we're shorting it. Using our PT2 identified for us when they were pulling their money out, both in May and July, and we were right there to pull our money out too. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course, monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgages to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by Phil's Talking Trader Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember, it's Christmas. What a great Christmas present to give someone a subscription to Phil's Gang. Give them a subscription for just 1 month. They'll love it. Let me give you the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. And once again, if you were a gang member, and here's a few of our stocks, the same 5 stocks that we work every day. Caterpillar, since December 3rd, it dropped 9%. We were short. It's a 9% return. We'll cut it to 5% if you don't believe it's 5%. We're still happy with that. Goldman Sachs, November 12th, it turned from green to red. 11%, dropped 11%. So one dropped at 9, the other dropped at 11. And Schlumberger oil dropped 15%. Now, what's wrong with that? On 12/3, Caterpillar dropped 9%. 11/12, Goldman Sachs dropped down 10%. On 11/9 again, Schlumberger dropped 15%. So that's 9%, 11%, 15% drop, shorting. So let's say you only made 5%. I'll be conservative. Let's say you got in late. What is wrong with that? It's easy, it's fun, and it makes sense. It does. You stop listening to all this nonsense. They're rigging the earnings. They're rigging everything. But that's the beautiful thing about it, because everybody, all the pros, just follow the money. Do you think the big boys are going to get out of the market? Are you kidding? They love it. They love it. And we're going to get QE. We're going to get another QE, QE4. Isn't that going to be wonderful? We won't go up 200%, but between now and the election, we'll go up 100%. That's going to happen, probably happen in January, early February. So join my gang now. Try it for 1 month. Okay, I want to go back to, now, this thing with the video, right, is terrible. But here's what really got me. They went after Trump. And remember, too, Trump never said, all these people say how Trump said, wow, he wants to keep all the Muslims out of the country. He never said that. He said temporarily till we figure out what's going on. But listen to Podesta covering. This is what's wrong with politics. Podesta, the campaign manager, is covering for Hillary in that video. Didn't she say that there is a video that ISIS has and they're using it for recruitment? Didn't she say that? Of course she did. Now listen to this when he was the campaign manager, Podesta, was asked about it.
Fact checkers can't say it. She said definitively that it is being used for propaganda. Where do you have this information? Do you guys have information that we don't have?
Well, look, Chuck, your own network ran a piece citing the most important organization that follows ISIS on social media that said that they're using social media and they're using Donald Trump as a recruitment tool. So that's what she was referencing. And
no, she wasn't referencing that. She was referencing a video. And then the guy, Chuck, who's the head of Chuck Todd, that guy, instead of going after him and saying to him, Podesta, wait a minute, just shut up, stop. I would have said, just stop. I asked you about the video. I didn't ask you about social media. I said the video. Answer that question. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Chuck Todd wouldn't do it. Of course he wouldn't do it. I don't know who's worse, that or these people who are supposed to be geniuses on CNBC with Apple.
The street is lowering estimates. And one of the reasons why they're lowering the estimates is when you look at the smartphone unit growth, as Josh accurately points out, we're late cycle. It's mature. And the comps are very difficult right now. The December and March comps in terms of...
I won't put you through it. I won't put you through it. He goes on and talks about unit growth. The reason why the stock is dropping is because unit growth is dropping. The comps. We're now in a traditional mode. Transitional mode. User-based transitional mode. They're going to start monetizing the user base. That's why he says they're monetizing the user base. And then he went on to all this other garbage that I don't even understand. That's not why the stock's going down. Listen to me. You know why the stock's going down? It's going down because the institutions that own Apple aren't buying it. It's that simple. The institutions that own Apple aren't buying it. Now, could it be any simpler than that? And they're not buying it. So if you take a look at T. Rowe Price or J.P. Morgan Chase or Franklin, they're not buying it. So the chart turns from green to red. Here, I'll put it up again. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's how it works. See? Green to red. Green to red. Just like when Caterpillar turned green to red and dropped 9%. You've got to learn how to make money when these stocks go down. Simple. Terrorism. There's more terrorism in the stock market. You know what's so interesting about this whole thing with ISIS? What gets me? The whole thing with ISIS. To really understand ISIS, you gotta go back a little bit. You gotta go back. And if you go back to Syria and Ukraine and Middle East and all this crap they talk about, I want you to think about this. Our government and the CIA is the one who created Obama. I mean, yes, they did. Osama bin Laden, they're the same guys. Osama bin Laden, same goals. Osama bin Laden, the CIA and our government created Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda in the 80s. They were a product of Western intelligence agencies. Al-Qaeda literally means, and it's an abbreviation of, quote, the database in Arabic. It was computer database that the CIA put together for Al-Qaeda. Thousands of Islamic extremists used this database, and we did it for them because the CIA was training them and funding them, and so wasn't the Saudis. So Saddam was a Sunni. So Saddam, his whole administration, were Sunnis. So I want you to think Sunni, ISIS, same thing. So our genius who lied to us, Bush, and said we're going over there because he called my father a name. He called my father a name. I'm going to go over and get him. So this was his excuse. So the idiot, if you want to go fight, fine, but be smart. So Saddam is a Sunni. His wife is a Sunni. The whole administration that runs the whole country are Sunnis. So when he takes over, Bush takes over and wins like an idiot, and instead of keeping the Sunnis in place to run the electric grid, run all the air conditioning, and run the highways and the transportation, just like MacArthur did with the Japanese, just like he did with the Nazis, he kept them running the railroads and everything when at the end of World War II. This dope says, oh, they're socialists, these Sunnis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get rid of all of them. Everybody who's working at a factory right now that's a Sunni, get out. If you're in this administration and you're running the air conditioning, you're running the air conditioning plants and you're running the sewer plants and electric, get out. So because I want free capital, I want capitalism. I want free markets, and you guys are socialists. So this idiot Bush gets rid of 200,000 Sunnis / ISIS, fires them. First, it was stupid because the Sunnis, or these ISIS, they knew what they were doing. They've been there for 50 years running all this stuff. They know what they're doing. And by the way, they ran the military, and that's why there was no terrorists. So dummy gets rid of them all, and he brings in their enemy. He brings in their enemy, the Shiites. And the Shiites, okay, were goat herders out in the mountains. So he brings in the goat herders, and he has them, okay, here you are. The electric plant is yours. Figure it out. Keep the air conditioning going. The railroad's yours. Get your goat off. Please get your goat off the desk. Figure out how to run the electric train here. Bush thought running electric train was like running electric train that you get for Christmas under your tree. That's how stupid this man was. So now, nobody knows how to run anything. But here's the worst mistake. Anytime you take over a regime and you change a regime, anybody will tell you in history, the very, very wealthy are politically connected. You don't take their wealth from them. In fact, when you take over a regime, you give them more wealth than they have, and they quietly leave, and they go to another country. The last thing you want to do is take a guy's wealth from him, make him poor, and he has political clout. And that's how they became ISIS, because they got grumpy, and the politicians were able to put everything together. Unbelievable. How stupid. Hey, what's smart? Join my gang. Call right now. Phil's gang. And Denise will take your call, and Steven. Become a subscriber to Phil's gang. So easy.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dreams.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com.